going to do, I've got two options here. I've got a MAC and an Hourglass, and one is, can you see, one is like too light, one is too dark. So what I do is I'll just do one pump of the dark and one drop of the light. There we go. And just an Real Techniques. Let's see how this looks. I'm not sure about. It's not bad actually. I will put all the colours and descriptions in the description box down below, because I can't keep putting my glasses on because you'll all get really bored. But just to tell you what colours they are. But I think I'm olive. Can you see? I am quite an olivey complexion. So that's that. Really buff it in so that it melts into the skin and becomes as one. So that's the Hourglass. Let me. Soft glow foundation, and the one that's too dark for me, it says it's called Ambient. The MAC is the Watertight SPF 30 foundation in NC30. So what is that? Natural Cool 30? Oh, I don't know. Confuses me. Now, one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of my one size colour mixer on the high points. I think I might have used a bit too much actually. And that's hopefully going to give me a little bit of a glow. But I have these terrible lines around my face, which are quite deep, so I have to try not to go too mad with anything that's a shiny thing. So now I'm going to use a little under eye brightener, which is my wonderful Rare Beauty. Literally one dot, because again, because of my creases, I have to really make sure and I've also got a makeup sponge, which I think if I press that in, it should really help with the with non-creasing. And then I've got my Natasha Danona. Again, trying not to put it anywhere that I have too many lines. And this is so good for to use this foundation as well. With a little bit of Makeup by Mario. I'm going to try and do that funny blend thing that actually I could do it this way, couldn't I? There we go. This is the Makeup by Mario bronzer. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. It does smell a bit odd, this stuff actually. Oh, I'll write the shade down below. I can't read it. Terrible. Okay, so then the idea is is to apply all of these together so that they all meld and you don't know where they start and where they stop. Hopefully giving a nice but structured coverage. Whether that's going to be the case or not, who knows? There you go, can you see? So they all sort of blend into each other, which I think is quite nice actually. Might need a bit more Natasha. But a very small amount. This is a very flat brush. Just on the darker bits. There we go. Now I'm going to do my actually I'm just going to do this because this seems to give it a really nice finish to tap. Basically this was a whole makeup sponge and it was so big I couldn't cope with it, so I cut it up for right or wrong, I'm sure. I can't even remember. It's not a beauty blender, it's, I don't know, it could be Elf or something. Go. And actually my eyebrows aren't looking terrible at the moment, so I'm going to just leave them as they are. Just pop on a little bit of gel just to keep them in place. This is the brow lamination from L'Oreal. Just clear gel. Very good at keeping your eyebrow hairs, and mine are quite strong actually. Shall I use a little bit of Glossier? This is the boy brow. Try a bit of this just to see if anything needs filling in. A bit there. And a little bit here. Just to tidy them up a little bit. There we go. And I am going to use this palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's the Instant Eye palette with three looks, sorry. And I will leave it on the description down below. I'm going to use the first three colours, actually. Oh, there's 4 looks. Love Eyes, Power Eyes, Happy Eyes, or Confident Eyes. And there's 3 colours under each description. And then one is your base, the second is what they call enhanced, and the other is pop of colour. So I don't know which one I fancy doing. I think I might do Power Eyes. Power Eyes is these 3 here, which is the green one in the middle. No idea what it's going to look like. Powder on my eyelids, which is very light. I don't have discoloration, or that much discoloration on my eyes, and because I want as few layers as possible, I'm not using concealer. It's gone a bit crazy already. This is my Tatcha, saves everything. Pat it in, press it into the lines. Right. Now, because I've gone and sprayed that, I actually need to pat down my eyelids. Right, here we go, Charlotte. I'm all yours. So I'm going to do a little so I'm adding this just above my crease to try and open my eye a little bit, and give me a little bit more definition. I'm holding my brush right at the end so that I don't add too much pressure, because my eyelids move and it makes the powder skip, which is not very pleasant, to be honest. There we go. Then I'm supposed to, it's quite green, I'm going to add this green, and I'm going to try and it's quite pigmented. I'm going to just spray it a little bit, see what happens. Yeah, that's a nice green, can you see? Okay. Now normally I don't use shiny shadow in my inner corner because I've got so many lines there, but actually this one might be a little bit more forgiving, but who knows. There we go. So I'm just blending it up with my, and this is the brush that I use for the powder, just to blend it a bit more. And then there's a brown, which I don't know how to use. Let's do going to use sort of fluffy outside brush. Can you see it's actually a little bit covered in stuff, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. So here goes. Can you see? I don't think you can. And that is going on the outside. It's actually quite interesting. Just in the outer V. To just give a bit of depth to the outer corner. It's actually quite nice. I thought it'd be too dark. I thought it'd be too dark because look, that looks like That's a very dark brown, but actually it's not. You see, that's my telescope to look outside with. Okay, so that is actually good old Charlotte. Who knew? Right, now I'm going to just take the smallest brush that I've got and use the first shade and pop that under my lower lashes, which I've really messed up because that's just way too much. I'm still using that, just that lower, just to try without getting it all in my eyes. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend out and blend up. There. Now with a tiny, tiny brush, I'm going to use the darker shade just on the outer, in fact I'm going to use brown from another colour combo. So I use the middle brown from this colour combo, which is called Confident Eyes, but there's the brown in the original Lots of Colours. It's not quite how I want it to look. It's too soft. There we go. And then I am going to add some more. Did I do powder? No, I only did powder. Right. This is my Fenty bronzer, which I absolutely love. Just to add a little bit more colour. It's looking quite nice actually. Who knew? You see my lines there, so I have to be really careful. I don't know. It's probably Botox time. There we go. And now I'm just going to do some mascara. There we go. Now this is going to be a laugh. I'm not going to use any liner on the top, but I am going to allow a little bit of the smudge mascara on my lids to stay exactly where it is, because it sort of gives the base of my lashes a little bit of definition. So this is my wonderful Benefit, which I absolutely love. I don't know if you can see, but I have actually got a little bit of overspill. And I have a, what the hell that is? And it just gives me a bit more depth. I mean, it's, you know, makeup artists would say that's just like shit, really, and you shouldn't let it stay there. And actually, once this dries, I'll show you a little trick that I do to cover up my mistake. But it needs to be absolutely dry before you even go anywhere near it. try and speed this up if I know how to before I post this, because it's so boring. But yeah, I don't know if you can see, but I have actually really put loads of mascara on my eyelids. But I'm going to fix that. I am going to fix it. Okay, I'm not going to do mascara on the lower lashes because I never do. I am, however, going to use a little bit of my Westman Atelier. Oh, God, I don't know the colour. So I will just take a little bit. And just pat it on so that I don't disturb anything else that I've put in that area. Just pat it, not swipe it. Pat, don't swipe. Pat, don't swipe. It's a really pretty colour. So pretty. And I just try and put it as high as I can without, and then it's kind of, I need to be careful because it then, if I put it too high, then it goes into my creases under my eyes. So it's very difficult to do, but that's fine. A little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. It's such a small amount that I used, and it's very effective, actually, very effective. So I might pat that in with my sponge, because everybody seems to think that's the right thing to do. So I will do that too. And to go full glam, I am going to use a red. Now you are going to want to know what this is. I'm going to have a red lip. This is the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner. Oh my God. In, oh my goodness me, red something. I'll have to leave it the description box. So this is the most important part. This is basically everything to your lip for the rest of the day. It has to be perfect. So a nice sharp pencil. And I've gone over, so I slightly overline down here, but at the sides go back to my shape. And again, as I've said before, because I have a sort of overhanging bit of skin, loose skin, it closes up the outsides of my lips, so I tend to overline. Just on the outside to give me a bit more volume. And I never overline the top, my Cupid's bow, because I think it looks absolutely stupid. Even though some people really love it, which is fine. I just check I've got the right shape, because this is, as I said, this is everything. Then another key to keeping your red lip in place all day. This is the L'Oreal Lip. Shall I see if I can see what that is? Otherwise I'll have to put it down below. It's the, oh God, another one you see. It's a lip, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, it's in the colour I don't. So it's a liquid lip, obviously, as you can tell. And this is absolutely magic. Look at that doe foot. It's flat, it's precise, it's got a beautiful tip. It's gorgeous. And that goes all over the lid. Lip. And because of the doe foot being so crisp, you can't go wrong. Well, you can, but a stick to go over the pencil. Look at that. Now that needs to dry down. Let's see, what else are we going to do? So basically, oh right, I'm going to do my trick, my eye trick. So how I overcome the mascara mess is I take a very angled brush. Can you see? Nice and angled. And I've got a black eyeshadow, which is actually the very last eyeshadow in this palette. And I load my brush with this black eyeshadow, and I am now going to turn a mess into a semi-liner. And what I do is I go really close to my lashes, over the mascara mess, and blend it in. That's it. It looks like I have not messed up, but in fact, I've got black eyeliner on. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have thought of this. Go right close to your lashes, right over the mascara mess. And that's it. I don't even need any more, actually. There we go. Okay. That's it. So then, my lips have now dried. I've got one last thing to do, and that is to put on, this is the star of the show, so I have to, this is Victoria Beckham Posh lipstick in Fire. And I just pop that as my last layer. It's a nice orangey red. And that is that. So take out my curls. I've got a bit mad because I washed it yesterday. It's also very flat, so I have to wait for it to fluff up all day, but I will do that at some point. I'll fluff it all out. And that's it. Tiny little bit of powder. Where are you? Powder brush. Where I don't want to shine. And that is that.